former Met Police detective and host of TalkTV's very own crime suspect show, Peter Bleksley. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, I think this cuts to the heart of everything that is wrong with British policing. We have at the moment the annual Police Superintendents Association conference this week, where one of the issues, one of the discussions, one of the topics was that Suella Braverman has ordered essentially an end to woke policing. She has described it as unacceptable, claiming public confidence is being eroded, that people do not trust a police that are involved in partisanship and straying into politically contested areas. She said it had an insidious effect on public confidence, and I think nearly everybody, and I know you'd agree, Peter, I certainly do. That's it. I don't want the police to be woke. I don't care about their political opinions. I don't care whose side they're on. We all know they love Just Stop Oil and all that stuff. I want them to catch crooks. If my car gets stolen, could you investigate that, please? If my house gets broken into, how about you having a look into it? And so on and so forth. But what has happened at the Police Superintendents Conference is they've hit back. And the president of the Police Superintendents Association, a guy called Paul Fotheringham, has said, but this is opening the doors to a rhetoric of discrimination. This is pandering to politically correct clauses, etc., etc. So what he is saying is it's extremely important. He actually says, what about inclusion? What about, reaching out to communities? What about our relationship with communities? No, nobody cares about that. What can we do, Peter, to get it through to the likes of Paul Fotheringham that we don't care about community relations and we don't care about their wokery? We want them to catch crooks.
I'm afraid to say that there is a whole generation of Paul Fotheringhams in his rank at superintendent and many, many ranks above, and there's more in the pipeline coming through. These are the sort of police officers that, for the last 20 years, trotted off to universities, got letters after their names, came back to policing with their heads full of complete and utter pseudo-intellectual claptrap and drifted away from the core fundamentals of what policing is.
Mr. Fotheringham said this, and this is in reference to what Suella Braverman said about pandering to politically correct causes is eroding confidence in the police. And we know what we're talking about. The police, to the average person on the street, seem like a bunch of left-wing, woke climate change fanatics. That's not right. So
in XXL trousers,
yes,
as last week's
with their LGBT badges. And so Mr. Fotheringham will address the PSA conference in Stratford-on-Avon, and he will tell them the language being used here matters. No, it doesn't. Where the government uses language in this way to position police as political rather than inclusive, are we opening the doors to a rhetoric of discrimination against those most vulnerable in our communities? What's he talking about? Answers on a postcard, please. Do you know, Peter?
On that very note, I have to just read out a few words from last week because I think we've discussed it in the past, but policing and these senior police officers have got so far away from what the public want them to do with their degrees, with their language, of which is like complete twaddle, most of it.
Gobbledygook,
As you well know, I am a keen observer of all things connected to policing. And last week, on social media, another police superintendent spoke about a meeting that he'd had, that he'd gone to. And he said the meeting was, this is the quotations now, action-driven with a number of work stream identified.
Sorry?
Yes.
Is that English?
Well, It's his version of English. It's clearly not plain English or understandable English. So I very politely asked him if he could explain what action driven with a number of work stream identified actually means. I looked at his profile. Of course, he's got an MBA, which is a business degree. Not a degree remotely connected to policing or whatever. And that is the type of kind of background and language that officers use as they have drifted away from what policing is all about. They should connect with two communities. The first community, victims of crime. The second community, perpetrators of crime. And if they did that swiftly, effectively, professionally, they would engage with people from every single background, because everybody from any colour, race, creed, faith, sexual orientation, in 2023, they're all victims of crime. And if they did their job properly, everybody would have some respect for them and some trust for them, which is very, very in short supply at the moment.
Absolutely. And what is it that they don't understand about the public want them to catch crooks, to investigate crimes, no matter how low level they are? What is it about them that makes them believe that what we want to hear from them is we're very inclusive and we love to dance the Macarena? Why do they think we want that?
They turned their backs on us a couple of decades ago when they started, and it started off with an expression that some smart aleck came up with, which was screening out. We'll screen out these crimes. They thereby gave themselves an excuse to not investigate certain crimes. And what crimes don't get investigated these days, despite some pledges? If you get your phone stolen, if you get your bike stolen. Remember, many people cycle to and from work on their bike. If you get your house burgled, if you get your car stolen, like you alluded to. For nearly a couple of decades, all people have got is a crime reference number. They didn't get a visit, they didn't get an investigation. They were treated with utter contempt as being not important enough for modern police.
Again, Peter, I know I'm asking the same question all over again and time again, but what possesses these top cops to believe that this is what the public want of them? It isn't.
They are not of the people. They are not the people. They are not representative of the people. I very much doubt that they're on the tubes and the trains and the buses and speak to everybody when I buy a cup of coffee like I do. They are not connected or engaged. They are distant. They feel they are superior. They have letters after their names as well as in front of their names. And they are not of the people.
So let's just put this back into context. This is the Police Superintendents Association conference this week, unfolding as we speak in Stratford-on-Avon, very nice part of the world, Shakespeare's birthplace and all that. And after the Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, told the police all over the country, can you stop being so damn woke? Stop pandering to politically correct causes. And we know what we're talking about there. Don't forget, only recently, Sir Mark Rowley, the head of the Met, only recently, a couple of weeks ago, banned his officers from wearing LGBT pride badges.
And taking the knee.
Taking the knee. Slowly, well, I was going to say slowly but surely, very slowly, some police forces are trying to do something about it. But what we have here is Suella Braverman talking for the people. Just catch crooks, catch car thieves, catch burglars. And them kicking back at her and saying, no, 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 you tell us not to be woke. We're not going to do it. We want to be woke. We're going to be woke. That's it, isn't it?
Funnily enough, I haven't had an invite to the
Superintendents
annual conference. I might go and loiter outside for an afternoon, and I wonder what sort of lanyards and badges.
Be careful, Peter. Don't you go committing any hate crimes. You know what they're like about that? They're very big on hate crimes.
I'll keep my mouth firmly shut, which will make a change, and my hands in my pockets, although I might just get my camera out to see the lanyards, the pin badges, the allegiances that they may openly display on their uniforms or their suits. That would be very interesting.
It certainly would.